Madam Chair, I have an amendment to the rule. I move the committee make an order amendment number 50 to H.R. 706 offered by myself, which would prohibit funds from being used to implement 39 CFR Part 111, which may delay postmarks for mail-in ballots. Madam Chair, as I pointed out earlier, it is only Congress and the states which have the right to enact laws regarding elections, federal elections. But on Christmas Eve, the Postal Service snuck in a new change that will make it more difficult to vote by mail. This change will allow the Postal Service to add a postmark to a ballot when it gets to a regional facility for processing, rather than the day that a person drops it off. If you live in rural America, you might drop something off in a post office, and it doesn't get postmarked till it gets to the regional facility. I live in Santa Fe. They now are going to wait until it gets to Albuquerque to get postmarked, which could be the next day or 2 days later. This change will allow the Postal Service to add a postmark later than when it was dropped off. This means that election officials may not count mail-in ballots even when a person drops that ballot off with plenty of time before the election. It will limit who gets to participate in our democracy. This change is no surprise given that President Trump, who still lies about the results of the 2020 election, is waging a war on elections and the right to vote, especially by mail. And we need to recognize who will this hurt most. And it'll hurt people that I think you all should care about. It will hurt rural voters. It will hurt elderly voters who cannot get to an election site, so they use mail-in ballots. And we should not allow this to happen, because some states, they only vote by mail-in ballots, and they get to choose whether they're going to accept the ballot based on the postmark or when it's received. New Mexico, you got to get your ballot in by election day. But other states say as long as you have the postmark. And we should not be allowing the president to take away the power that Congress holds. Congress is the one who has the right to determine how elections are governed if we don't agree with what the state does. So if you don't like the fact that some states require mail-in ballots, then let's pass a law to change that. But don't let the president, through the Postal Service, change the way in which Americans can vote. And with that, Madam Chair, I yield back.